Welcome, this is Nathan and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to continue looking at the alternative future of the world, part 4. In the last video we had the big war happen, where nothing really happened, to be honest. Stuff did happen. You can see that all around the world, stuff definitely happened. The main thing was Ukraine getting their independence again. Poor little Moldova, they never got their independence. Estonia's gone. Kaliningrad's gone, which is going to hurt Russia, probably. I don't know, will that hurt Russia? Probably will. Who knows? This is in the future, so maybe this area is not Arctic anymore. And nothing else really happened. We had Yemen gets destroyed, Sudan is probably dead. Algeria is now one of the strongest countries in the world, I bet. Well, fine not. They only took they've not even took that much now, but they have Tunisia, so I don't know. Germany and Austria are united, and we're going to see more unification in Europe today. And I'm actually going to start with something that I haven't done an episode on this for a long time. I'm actually going to begin with a unification right off the bat, and also people joining alliances. We have Czechoslovakia reuniting. Yeah, pretty typical, everyone does this. But it just makes sense, to be honest. Nothing else really happened. Serbia's dead. I wish everything was not so little, but who cares? Algeria is actually... No, Algeria's doing good. They're not struggling. Although Nigeria could be a problem in the future. China's in pain right now from what happened with invading Taiwan. Taiwan is struggling to hold on to this. Taiwan is struggling to hold on to all this, but it's not like they own the entire thing like they used to. Asia's pretty normal. Pakistan's gone. I don't know what's gonna happen there. And everything else is neutral. The world is still recovering from that massive war. So, next, we're going to have more and more unifications. The next one being in Europe again. We're actually going to have Latvia and Lithuania uniting to form the Baltics. Now, they're doing this because if another war were to break out, Russia would steamroll them and probably get annexed again. So they just unite they'll probably get steamrolled anyway, but they're stronger like this. And that's going to do it for unifications. Let's head over to the alliance map. Oh, so the alliance map is not really changed much. I'm not updating. I will update this eventually. I need to give up the rest of Mali. Yeah, okay, I'll update this maybe next episode. I don't have to update much. Armenia doesn't exist, so that's blue now. But we're actually gonna have another country joining. We're actually gonna have a country joining the CSTO, and this is gonna be Uzbekistan. Now, Uzbekistan, I don't know if they are a member in real life. I think they're neutral, but for now, Uzbekistan is joining the CSTO just to be protected. As Iran is maybe... No, Iran's fine. Iran is pretty neutral. By the way, these should be blue. And nothing else really happens. Ecuador is slowly starting to get stronger relations with USA and Colombia. Mexico is making better relations with USA. Russia is making better relations with Central Asia. Russia isn't as bad as they now are, now that big war's happened. The leader is Putin's dead, obviously, but this new leader in charge is kind of more neutral now. They still have the war thing, but that's going to be it for people joining the alliances. let's go ahead and let's go ahead and go back to the world. So coming down here to Southeast Asia, we're actually gonna have a war breaking out. Don't worry, it's not a major war. It's not like China or anything. This war is actually going to be with Vietnam. This is because a new alliance is actually being formed. Now, Japan isn't in NATO. I'm actually going to change it to the... No, I'm not going to change our name. I might. Japan isn't in NATO. Same with Korea. Philippines isn't as well. Australia is. So, yeah. But Vietnam is no longer communist. So now that's one less communist country in the world. All that remains is, well, North Korea's gone and China's probably going to collapse in the future. Did that just leave Laos and Cambodia? Well, no, Cambodia. I'm trying. Cuba. No, Cuba. Yeah, Cuba still exists. Cuba's here. I don't know if Cuba's part of the USA, so you might have to rewatch some videos. Anyway, Vietnam. There's going to be a new alliance forming between Japan, Philippines, Vietnam, and Taiwan. This will just be known as the Atlantic Treaty. Kind of similar to NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, but it's just called the Atlantic Treaty. No, Atlantic Organization. So, all these countries, Philippines, Japan, Vietnam, Philippines, Taiwan, Korea, and Japan have all just formed an alliance. And we are actually going to have a war breaking out, and this is going to be a war between Vietnam and Laos. So why is this happening? Well, obviously they want to get rid of every communist country in the world. And by the way, in part 3, I kind of put part 4, so this is part 4. Ignore the fact I put part 3, part 4, because I just actually clicked 4. Anyway, Vietnamese troops enter into this part of Laos. I don't know regions in this area. I only know much about Southeast Asia. We are Vietnamese troops entering from here and making a spearhead down to Laos's capital. They managed to capture and cut off a massive part of Laos, which will lead this. Whoa, that's the wrong thing. This will lead to this area surrendering. We're getting captured, and eventually Laos will capitulate. Let's take a look at this piece. So the peace treaty, Vietnam annexes Laos, and now Cambodia is kind of surrounded, but Cambodia's going to stay there. And now Cuba's the last communist country in the world, and that's because China kind of is... In real life, China's actually even said they're not going to be communist anymore. They said they're going to democratic, and I don't know, but apparently Xi Jinping, the leader of China, is retiring from his job. So he's decided to make China a democratic, which is kind of insane. Apparently next year he's retiring in February, which, good for him, he's definitely done some stuff, and he's not the worst leader in the world. Like, I see a lot of people hating on him, but he's not that bad. But now it's time for the big war. Down in Africa, we have Algeria actually doing something, and this is going to be Algeria expanding their empire, I guess. Algeria declares war on Mauritania, which is going to be the breaking point for Africa. Yes, Africa just broke. Snapped, I mean, what? Basically, everyone has decided that this needs to stop. If Algeria keeps expanding, they're going to become massive, really strong, and in recent times Algeria has been moving to Russia, which is not a good thing. If Algeria moves to Russia, that's a big country helping, being able to help Russia. So straight away Nigeria declares war, joins the war against with Mauritania. Libya joins the war against Algeria, and I know Libya has good relations with Algeria in real life, but Algeria is, in this scenario, a country that is rapidly expanding, so they kind of broke relations. The East African Federation. What in the world? I don't even know what's happening here. The East African Federation joins the war to put an end to Algeria's rapid expansion. And just for the help, we have a lot of these countries down here joining the war to protect themselves in the future if this war fails. And finally, but not least, we're gonna add Morocco in. We're actually gonna add Morocco in. Yeah, I know they don't have good relations with Mauritania, but to be honest, Western Sahara, Mauritania's got over that thing, so they don't really care about it anymore. I mean, it's just a desert. Why the hell does Mauritania care so much about it? So now this is actually a war and wars in Africa. And just to add to the spice of it, we have France running the war to stop this as well. So now that's France in the war. Ooh, yeah, that's gonna hurt you, Algeria. So Algerian troops moving to the desert part of Mauritania, while also surprisingly entering into Morocco. Spain doesn't join the war against Morocco because that wouldn't be right. That would get them kicked out and all that stuff. We have Algerian troops entering from here, and now we're gonna have the blue team get mobilized. Here we go. Libya sends their troops. Libya mobilizes all their troops and smacks them right into Tunisia, trying to avoid the desert because you don't want to invade that. That is just dumb. We have Tunisia basically declared its independence from Algeria, which is gonna hurt them, not that much though. Nigeria is about to destroy Algeria as troops flood into the Niger area, which the people here were kind of against the unification thing, but not, because obviously Niger and Algeria were good allies. But I'm sorry, people from Nigeria who are watching this video, your country's just being rolled over. We have Burkina Faso send their troops over to Mauritania, which surprisingly goes well. Like, you think this area is very valuable because it has the capital Bamako of Mali, so why would Algeria not be protecting it? Because they don't care. Algeria continues their invasion and sends troops over to capture Rabat, which fails, but they still hold the front and they expand it to try and capture Rabat again. We have troops stationed over here moving in. We're also pushing back Burkina Faso's troops all the way because Burkina Faso's weak, not being mean. And at this point, Algeria is starting to mobilize every single troop. A lot of troops. We have them pushing back Libya and Tunisia. Surprisingly pushing back Nigeria because they're probably at the same strength at this point. Not all the way because this is Nigeria. We're talking about that's one of the strongest countries in Africa. And at this point, France is mobilized. Yeah. So now that France is mobilized, Algeria decides that this is probably not a good idea. But that's just the people. The president says that we can win this. Oh well, he's about to be wrong. There was two landings made. There's a landing made by Morocco near Algiers as well. A landing is made in Tunisia, which is gonna kill a bunch of troops around here. And at this point we have all the At this point, there's a bunch of French troops lining up on the border, and at this point, they are at Algiers. And this is going to be a big fight. It doesn't last for long as France encircles Algiers. And that cuts off Algeria from the coast. It's going to hurt. Up here, we have a retreat of troops. And also around here, we have a little push. But these are main fighting forces trying to take back Algiers. At this point, the president mobilizes a bunch of troops to capture Rabat. This goes successfully, but France troops are now entering into Morocco, and this is about to fail. Morocco kicks Algeria out all the way, and all Algeria has now is places in Mauritania, which, surprise, surprise, all their troops burn up there because that's just a desert. Nigerian troops continue to enter into Niger, until eventually the people in Niger start to rise up against the government. And obviously Algeria is going to be pretty surprised by this, because Niger was one of the easiest places for them to hold down. But at this point, the people in Niger say why we part of this, our government chose this, and completely break away as a massive rebellion takes place. Same thing happens in Mali, as Algeria starts to lose everything. Morocco sends troops into Algeria, but this is not really a desert, I guess. And at this point, Algiers is captured. These rebellions continue to get bigger, and Algeria is struggling to hold them down, so they have a massive encirclement of Mali, which declares its independence, but they don't have all their country. At this point, Algeria's lost all their valuable land, so they surrender. Rip one of the strongest rip that one. I think Algeria is one of the... let's check a look at this peace. So on this peace treaty, Algeria's screwed up. We have Morocco getting basically all their former lands back, and actually a bit more. We have Tunisia being released and getting some land. Libya gets some land and looks like you didn't learn from the straight line thing. Mali is released and getting some land out of Niger, which the government's fine about. It's near the capital though, so maybe not. The capital's around there, so... Niger is also released. Algeria is forced to pay war reparations. Well, actually, not really, because... I'll get to it. Western Sahara... Mauritania is also fine. Mauritania now recognises the Western Sahara thing. And finally, but not least, Algeria is under French control. Algeria is now a French puppet, and they're French puppets, so they're not under France's control. They're a French puppet. So if a massive war to break out, Algeria would be in it. Let's go ahead and check the alliance map again. So is the alliance map. That is now what Algeria would look like. Algeria is now under French control. French puppet. I'm going to have one more thing happening, and that is going to be a unification. Not a unification, or actually kind of, I guess. But we're going to have... hang on. Okay, we're going to have two new alliances forming up. So, obviously, the Atlantic Treaty, which I already said was made. So this is going to insist of Taiwan, Korea, Japan, the Philippines, which I'm not going to bother coloring in, Vietnam, and then another alliance that's being formed up is going to be the Rio Pact, which is actually a real life alliance. So this is going to be made up of Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, Chile, and Ecuador. Oh yeah, and Guyana. Peru, Bolivia, Paraguay, and Suriname don't join for now, although Peru is probably going to join in the future. Central America and Mexico aren't going to bother joining. And that's going to be it for this video. So I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!